Clone Commandos were the bread and butter of the clone army. They were essentially the only troops that had the ability to infiltrate the most dangerous separatist complexes and actually come out alive, and relatively unscathed. I personally find these commandos extremely interesting and also a bit underfeatured, which is why I present you with my all-new Clone Commander profile series, which is of course inspired by my Clone Commander series. There will be a couple of differences between the two however, and aside from the obvious fact that I'll be doing commandos instead of commanders, I won't be splitting the series up into two entities like I did with my Unknown Clone Commanders sub-series, and instead, every Clone Commando squad, no matter how obscure, will have the potential to be featured on the Commando profiles. Anyways, enough of my rambling, and let's get into one of my personal favourite Commando teams of the Republic. That team of course being the Ion team. So like my Unknown Clone Commander series, I'll be using the facts provided to build a story around the Commando squads that didn't have much information about them in the first place. So although this video will be sprinkled with speculation here and there, the base of the Ion Team's story will still remain the same. The Ion Team, like all other Commando groups, had 4 distinct members that trained together all their life. They all imbued their trust into each other and forged an unbreakable bond up until their dying breath. When compared to many other Commando groups, the Ion Team were extremely lucky as all 4 members of the squad managed to survive the devastating Battle of Geonosis, where statistics say that every 1 out of 2 Commandos were killed in action. Although much of the Ion Team's early days isn't explicitly stated, one can assume that they were sent on a plethora of Republic missions together, and were a very intelligent and skillful group. From what we know, the Ion Team had 3 named members and one that remains unknown to us. The 3 named members being the leader, Captain Clymer, and his men who were aptly nicknamed Trace and Raz. On one fateful day, however, Clymer and his men were sent on a relatively large infiltration mission with the 32nd Air Combat Wing, who were led by Commander Salvo. Also, quick fun fact about Salvo, he was a die-hard Republic loyalist, where the words "live to serve" etched onto his helmet. This mission had a surprisingly high volume of Jedi, and they were all divided into different sectors of the planet. As fate would have it however, Order 66 was executed in conjunction to the mission, and unfortunately for all the Jedi in these different sectors, they were all ultimately slaughtered by Salvo's men. The 3 Jedi who were accompanied by Ion Team however had to thank their lucky stars, as when Palpatine relayed Order 66 to Commander Salvo, the team couldn't believe their ears and thought it was a separatist plot. For this reason, the Ion Team openly and outright defied Order 66, and because they were too nice to kill Salvo and his team, they instead used non-lethal methods to disrupt the weapon system of Salvo and his men, ultimately disarming them all. This, however, turned out to be a fatal mistake for the Honorable Commando Squad. After attempting to escape with Jedi Rowan Shrine, Bolch Attack, and Oli Starstone, Commander Salvo, infuriated by the Ion Team's disobedience, immediately contacted Darth Vader, which turned out to be a death sentence to Clone Commando Raz, another unknown commando, as well as Jedi General Bolch Attack. Rowan Shrine, Oli Starstone, Trace, and Captain Clymer, however, managed to escape the clutches of Darth Vader and eventually parted ways. The last 2 remaining members of the Ion Team decided to try their luck and escaped onto the forested foothills of the planet. However, after Darth Vader ordered his shock troopers to conduct a massive manhunt on the planet, Captain Clymer and Trace were apprehended and were imprisoned on the desolate and brutal outer rim planet of Aegon 9. We don't know much about what happened to Trace and Clymer after they were sent to Aegon 9, however, in my opinion, they were likely interrogated and or killed by the sadistic Imperial guards working on the planet. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode of the Clone Commander Profiles. Don't forget to leave a comment on what you think happened to Trace and Clymer down below. Also, just before you go, if you want to support my channel and love awesome and geeky pop culture t-shirts, make sure you check out our sponsors over at T-Blocks and use the discount code GEETSLY'S to get 10% off your first month. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to join the wider intergalactic community on our Discord and Instagram.